Before we begin, I know some of you students out there are relatively new to the campus. So I've asked our Dean of Students, Dean Mabel Briney, to have a few words with you about some of our newer course offerings that you may be unaware of. Dean Mabel?
Thank you. Mabel Briney, Dean here, letting you know about the many class options currently being offered at Lenox College. The J.D. Morgan of Morgan's Livery will be offering Blacksmithing 101 every Tuesday. Bring your own anvil. The cooks at the Iowa Lunchroom are making available their expertise in crafting goat cheese. They believe goat cheese will be the new culinary craze. Bring your own goat. May Kelly and Mrs. H.R. South will alternate Wednesday morning classes in the finest dressmaking for the modern college girl. Fabric is available at both millineries. No fabric feed bags allowed. J.D. McAllister will bring to Lenox his tenured experience in cattle feeding and hog feeding. An addition to this class will be butchering with Reeve and Talmadge at City Meat Market. The world of math will be taught by Leonard Gibbs. His classes have a real ring to them. Available for the students will be the organizations of the YMCA and the YWCA for their spiritual needs. Also available will be the literary organizations, the Athenians, the Cleonians, open to the young men of Lenox. Dues are 50 cents. A payment plan is available. The young women of Lenox may join the Minervans. During the Athenians and Cleonians and Minervans meetings, orations will be on the agenda relating to the hot topics of the day. Remember, the jitney is available from Monticello and places north for students to attend classes at Lenox College, situated at the pinnacle of Hopkinton.
It's spring in Willisburg, and it's been raining for a week, so all the farmers around town are getting pretty frustrated. The fields were prime for planting until now, so there's time to do all the chores they've been postponing for weeks. But there's also time to go to Willisburg and Mary Ann's Good Enough Grill.
Woo-wee! Morning, Bertie!
Well, good morning, Harvey. What you doing in town? Great weather for ducks.
Well, can't do anything in the fields, Bertie, and I need to get a tractor part welded over at the blacksmith shop.
Well, you couldn't get in the fields anyway if your tractor needs fixing.
Oh, it's not for my field tractor. That's my John Deere. No, it's for the garden tractor. Thelma's chomping at the bit to get her garden in, so I have to be ready to get at it as soon as the rain stops and the ground dries out.
Gotcha. Table or booth? And what can I get you?
Oh, I'll sit at this table here. A cup of black coffee to start.
Coming right up.
Boy, it's a gully washer out there. Great weather for ducks.
Hi, Earl. Rain getting to you too?
How'd you guess? Give me a cup of the black stuff. And what's the pie menu look like?
Hey, you better rethink that pie, Earl. If Myrtle hears about you eating someone else's pie.
Oh, hi, Harvey. And who's going to tell her? I'll sit here with old Harv. Hey, coffee. Thanks, Bertie.
You're welcome. We got raspberry pie, apple pie, blueberry, peach, and lemon meringue.
I'll have a piece of the raspberry with a dip of vanilla ice cream to cut the sweet, you know. Oh, and bring a piece just like an old Harv here. That's for insurance in case you want to tell Myrtle about the pie.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. So what brings you to town anyway?
Myrtle's getting 200 baby chicks from Lux Lager Land Farms this week, and she sent me in for chicken mash from Johnson Feed Mill. We were getting on each other's nerves anyway, being cooped up with this rain.
You're telling me. I was working on the garden tractor and spilled some oil on the floor in the machine shed and needed a rag. So I come in and got one, and Thelma asked, "What are you using that for?" And I said, "To wipe up an oil spill."
And she said?
She said, "Oh, don't use that one. It's a good rag."
You kidding me? She said that? It's a good rag? I thought a rag was a rag.
Yeah, you believe that? So I asked, "We got good rags and bad rags?" And she spends the next 10 minutes explaining how she's got certain rags for windows, some for floors, and some to throw away after being used.
Like she's the Ms. Astor Horse of rags.
Yeah, queen of rags. Sometimes I just don't understand women.
Here's your pie, boys.
Woo-hee.
Morning, Delbert. Haven't seen you in town for a long time. Did you get rained out?
Boy, did I ever. Great weather for ducks. Just came in to get parts for the corn planter at T. Lyle Joseph's. Hi, Harv. Hey, Earl. Hey, Birdie. Is it okay if we move to that booth behind the partition where there's a little more room?
Sure, I'll help you.
I'll take a cup of coffee, and how about a piece of whatever they're having, if there's any left?
Uh-oh, looks like we're all in trouble now.
Yeah, Dora Lou would rather have me seeing other women than eating someone else's pie. Especially raspberry pie. She really prides herself on raspberry pie. An old recipe handed down from her grandma.
Yep. Next thing you know, she'll be giving you the look.
What are you talking about, the look?
You mean you haven't been given the look by now?
He probably ain't been married long enough to get the look. How long you been married, Delbert?
Not that long.
Well, how long is not that long?
I'm thinking.
Boy, you better answer faster than that on how long you've been married.
Yeah, if Dora Lou was here, you'd get the look for sure.
Okay. 9 months and 4 days. Is that exact enough for you?
Oh, it doesn't have to be exact for us. It's got to be exact for Dora Lou. Stick with us, kid, and we'll keep you out of trouble. Isn't that right, Bertie?
Here's your raspberry pie with ice cream to cut this week. And Delbert, I don't know if I'd trust either one of these characters if I was you.
Oh, what do you mean? We're setting him straight regarding when his and Dora Lou's first anniversary is.
So what are you gonna get her, Delbert?
Well, I got in trouble for using her broom to sweep out the chicken house. She told me not to bring that nasty old thing into the house again. So I thought I'd get her a brand new broom. Not the cheap ones, but the best one they got over at Willisburg Hardware.
Oh, boy, are you out of your mind?
What's the matter?
Well, I tell you, my first husband got me a push lawnmower for our first anniversary. He was my first and last husband, by the way. Haven't been married since. Be there in a minute. Yeah, I ended up being the only single mom in the area. I've done okay without him, and Kenny grew up to be a fine young man. Enjoy your pie, boys. Ooh, looks like the rain's brought everybody in town today.
What a year. Just so warm.
Morning, ladies. Are you all together?
Oh, yes, we are now. We ended up on the party line at the same time. And since all our husbands came to town, we decided it was as good a time as any to get some sewing done.
So I picked up everybody in Earl's pickup, and we went to Don Smith's corner store. Our Mary's a senior this year, and I have to be thinking about material for her prom dress.
Yeah, that's real important. Now how about that corner booth? 3 cups of coffee to start?
Oh, that's perfect on a day like this.
you. I'll take cream in mine.
Yeah, me too. Besides, our husbands were driving us all crazy being cooped up in the house together.
Amen to that.
Harvey kept pacing back and forth, looking out the window, muttering, "When's it gonna stop? When's it gonna stop?" And then back and forth again.
Delbert insisted he was coming down with something. Plastered Vicks all over his chest last night. It was like sleeping next to a eucalyptus tree. Surprised he didn't slide right out of bed. Yet he gets up this morning and says, "I'm going to town."
Here's your coffee, ladies.
Thanks, Bertie. I know just what you mean, Dorley. Least little thing can put Earl in a real state when he's feeling poorly. Thinks he's gonna die. He'll keep asking me to check his temperature. "Feel my head," he says. "Does it feel warm to you?" But if I'm sick, he assumes I'll keep right on with the chores, which of course I do, because nobody else is gonna do them.
I hear that. Last year, when I broke my wrist, Harvey said, "Guess that's why God gave you 2 arms." Have you fed the chickens yet? Oh, and what's for supper? Hey, Bertie, you got any cinnamon rolls left?
Did I just hear Thelma's voice?
I thought you said she was home. You only got one car, ain't you?
Well, yeah, it sure sounded like her.
You're just feeling guilty about that pie.
At this time, I would like to make a special announcement. You all are the first to hear this exciting and important news bulletin. The Hopkinton Regional Medical Clinic, one of the longtime sponsors of the Delaware County Historical Society, is pleased to announce the following additions to their clinic staff. The clinic's new podiatrist, Dr. Archie Fallen, comes to us from the foothills of Kentucky. He left a lucrative practice due to a falling out with his partners. They are now arch enemies. He will be seeing patients on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. till noon. Walk-ins are welcome. Dr. Fallen knows time wounds all heals, but hopes his patients will be able to leave their appointments putting their best foot forward. The clinic is also proud to welcome our new addition to the OB/GYN staff, Dr. Ova Reed. Ladies, Dr. Reed will be at your cervix from Monday and Wednesday afternoons from 1 to 4 p.m. Dr. Reed decided to be an OB/GYN physician because there's always an opening. A frequent question Dr. Ova Reed gets from first-time fathers to me is there any reason I have to be in the delivery room while my wife is in labor? Her response is, not unless the word alimony means anything to you. Fathers also often ask, when will my wife feel normal again after having the baby? Dr. Overy's candid reply is, after the children are in college. The new proctologist for the clinic is Dr. Seymour Butts. Dr. Butts will have clinic hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 a.m. till noon. Like his golf game, Dr. Butts likes to get 18 holes in before lunch. So in order to expedite your visit, he asks that you use the clinic's rear entrance and please back in for your appointment. As a proctologist, Dr. Seymour Butts would like to form a partnership with a local psychiatrist and call their clinic Odds and Ends. Dr. Butts stands behind the work and hopes all his patients leave their appointment with a positive end result. The clinic will also be having Dr. Violet Limbs join the clinic staff. As an ophthalmologist, her greatest fear is that she will be going out of business at midnight on 12/31/2019 because everyone will have 20/20 vision. Pretty ironic, isn't it? Dr. Limbs will be partnering with the Maquoketa Valley School District by offering free eye exams on the first and third Saturday of each month from 8 till 10 a.m. for any new student planning to enroll in the school district. The Maquoketa Valley School District is looking for good pupils. The clinic welcomes these new healthcare providers to the team. The Hopkinton Regional Medical Clinic proudly practices under the belief that every patient brings joy to the clinic. Some when they enter, others when they leave. And now back to our program.
Listen to that storm, will ya? Okay, girls, here's your cinnamon rolls. Looks like everybody's coming in here to get out of the rain. By the way, your husbands are behind that partition over there having a little shopping break themselves.
What did you say? You kidding me? Well, I declare, I asked Harvey to stop and get me some black thread, but he said he'd be tied up at the blacksmith shop and wouldn't have time because he has to get home and work on the tractor. And here he is lollygagging with Delbert and Earl.
Be right there. Enjoy the rolls, ladies.
You know, girls, after we finish our rolls, I think we might just give our husbands a little surprise.
No, I don't think we should do that.
Honey, come on. How long have you been married?
Let's see now. 9 months and 2 days.
That's so cute. I can tell you're a newlywed because you're still counting the days.
Dora Lou, you've got a lot to learn, but stick with us, and we'll help you keep Delbert on his toes.
What do you mean?
Well, for instance, first, a lot is going to hinge on whether Delbert remembers your anniversary. And second, what he gets you as a present.
Yeah, for our first anniversary, Earl got me a pie plate and a rolling pin. Told me now I could make him that apple pie he'd been wanting. Said the apples were just right for the picking, and handed me the bucket. Well, let me tell you, I gave him a look that would curdle milk.
A look? What kind of look? What do you mean?
Well, sweetie, it's not something you can learn. The look is in your genes, a natural thing, handed down from your mama and her mama before her and all the way back.
When girls are born, the look is there. Just not ready to show itself yet because there's no reason.
And then you grow up, you find the perfect man and get married, and one day that perfect husband says or does something that you just can't believe.
Yeah. All the time you've been thinking he was a pretty smart guy. Until he does or says the absolute dumbest thing you can imagine.
And before you know it, there it is. The look. You didn't even know you had it in you. It just wells up and out without your knowing it.
Really? Really. And it has served women well from time immemorial. I call it payback for having to birth the babies.
Say, Bertie, could we get a refill on the coffee over here?
Sure thing.
Thanks, Bertie. Say, anybody know what's going on at the old Rudy Hoffelmeyer place?
The Hoffenmeyer place?
He means the old Jim Johnson place. It ain't Rudy Hoffelmeyer's place till Rudy sells it to somebody else. Then it's the old Rudy Hoffelmeyer place. Anyways, he sold it and fixing to move out.
Well then, it is the old Rudy Hoffelmeyer place.
Yeah, but neither one of you knew that. Besides, he ain't moved out yet. So it's still the old Jim Johnson place. That's the unwritten law of the land, you know.
I think I'm lost.
Me too, but I think Earl's got it down to a science, so don't worry. Uh-oh, looks looks like trouble, boys, and better head for the hills.
Well, what do we have here?
Velma!
Myrtle?
Delbert.
Dora Lou.
Holy cow, Velma! Scared me half out of my wits. Now I spilled my coffee all over.
So, what are you ladies doing in town?
Maybe we ought to be doing the asking. Looks like someone's been enjoying some pie. Raspberry, was it?
Sure looks like raspberry to me. With a little ice cream to cut the sweetness. Yeah, it'll be a long time before you get raspberry pie home again.
And that goes double for me.
Now, Dora Lou. Uh-oh. Guys, is that the look?
Sure is, Delbert. Dora Lou's a fast learner. Well, we got our shopping done. Got that thread you were too busy to pick up, Harvey. So we'll be on our way. Might want to get that spilled coffee sopped up.
I guess so. Throw me that rag over there, Earl.
No,
Wait, not Delbert.
What's wrong?
What's the matter? What's going on?
that's a good rag.
jante, alouette, alouette, jante, bloomerang.
Bloomerang, la dos,
Jante, bloomerang, la dos,
and la dos,
and la dos,
and la coo,
and la coo,
and la dat,
and la det,
alouette,
alouette.
oh,
Alouette, jante, alouette, alouette, jante, bloomerang. Alouette, jante, alouette, alouette, jante, bloomerang.
bloomerang, les ailes,
Jante, bloomerang, les ailes,
et les ailes,
et les ailes,
et la dos,
et la dos,
et la coo,
et la cou,
et la tête,
et la tête,
alouette,
alouette.
oh,
Alouette, jante, alouette, alouette, jante, bloomerang. Alouette, jante, alouette, alouette, jante, bloomerang.
bloomerang, la cat,
Jante, bloomerang, le cat,
et la cat,
et le cat,
et les ailes,
et le sails,
et le dos,
et le ghost,
et le cou,
et le cou,
et la tête,
et le tête,
alouette,
alouette.
oh,
Alouette, jante, alouette, alouette, jante, bloomerang. May the road rise to greet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of His hand. May He hold you in His hand. Amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will have former police officer Paul Loucks will present a short program over some mysterious happenings that happened in Delaware County in 1975.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a sneak preview of something that's going to be on display here. I think getting it here was a major thing, and that's this hood of that car that is sitting down here. It was involved in the murder case of Howard Miller in Masonville, Iowa. You can tell that I'm getting old when you're part of the history of Delaware County. Oh, that's a rude awakening. I guess I'm the last living investigator of that murder. So it has a special meaning. A few months ago, Casey Snyder,
who is your jail administrator. And he is the son, pardon? And he is the son of my ex-partner, Dick Snyder, who is one of the best guys I've ever worked with. Casey sees me and he goes, Paul, you're not going to believe this. Remember the hood that they moved the body of Howard Miller on after they killed him? And I'm going, well, yeah. He says, it's here. I'm going, Casey, it's here. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be 45 years ago. I know it's hard to believe. I must have been 12 when I was investigating that deal. Anyway, he goes, yeah, he said, I'm pretty sure of it. And I said, how come you're so sure? He goes, I know exactly where you were on April 26, 1975 at 12:20 p.m. Well, still on it is my evidence tag that I had to sign off on. And then we put it in inventory, because every time you do that, there is a chain of evidence that has to be controlled. We went and looked at it, and I told Casey, I said, Casey, this is part of the history of the county. It just can't go away. That set things into motion. I'm going to take a little time to thank some people that were instrumental into saving this, and we're going to bring many other things that will be on display here about that case. One of the people that had to sign off on it was your county attorney, Burnham. One of the instrumental people, and if I ever get in a project where it's got to be done, was Shirley Helmers of your county board of supervisors. If you give that gal something to do, stand back, because it's going to get done, including her helping haul it down here, because it had been in the courthouse basement for all those years. She contacted the county attorney, got him to sign off, got the county board of supervisors to sign off, got your sheriff, John Clare, to sign off on it, and it all started coming to be. A couple other people I got when this display goes in. We were hoping to have it ready for tonight, but it's going to be another week or two. Through a lady here by the name of Donna Law has helped procure someone. We scanned every single article, every single picture that had ever been written on this case. It's in the process, and now, even though some of those articles were kind of yellowish in color and so forth, they're able to scan it, they're being reproduced and brought back to the new condition, so that you will have something that will last decades here. Don has graciously also provided equipment and so on, and we're going to laminate it, so it won't be damaged. So I appreciate it so much, Don. It's going to mean a lot to Delaware County. Some of those that were brought to our attention, and it was a big box, was the Eldridge family. Bert Eldridge was sheriff at the time, so they came up with newspaper articles. They came up with magazine. Inside Detective magazine was one of them that published the whole program in it. It is eye-opening. Some of the pictures of moi. I had hair. It was all one color. One of the pictures of me taking Dennis Fisher out of the Dubuque County Courthouse on the change of venue, I was shocked. I had a mustache. Honestly, I don't ever remember ever having a mustache. They put all that together, brought it, we took it, and got the copies made and so forth. So it should be ready. There were 2 or 3 articles that we found that weren't in that. It's hard to believe because that was a big file. He contacted the papers that were involved. They called him and said, okay, we're going to open up our archives to you. So he had like 3 big articles to finish it up so that it is a complete history of that murder case. Dennis Fisher was found guilty. We got the bad guy. He spent the rest of his life in jail. He was tried twice on it, but they got a conviction both times. And he passed away about 9 years ago in Fort Madison. It was a very, very interesting case. We did not at that time have the technology that we all see on TV. I knew what DNA was. I didn't know you could use it in a crime scene, but DNA was just being talked about at that time. We didn't have millions of pieces of information in computer banks. It was just ground pounding, talk to people, get out there, find out what's going on something that was originally reported to the Sheriff's Department as a missing persons report. The day that they came in, Myra Miller, Howard Miller's wife, and Dennis Fisher to report him missing. Supposedly, Dennis Fisher took him to Dubuque to drop him off, and he was going to make his way to Wisconsin and Milk College or something. It was pretty bizarre. Bert called me in the office. I listened to it. He said, "What do you think?" I said, "Bert, I think he's dead." And Bert looked at me and goes, "Where in the world did you come up with that?" I said, "This guy doesn't leave home. The farthest he's ever been away, according to them, is, maybe down to the Jones County Fair or something." And he goes, "Well, run with it. See what you can find out." And that was the beginning of the investigation. They actually reported this on February 7th of 1975. He was actually killed on the 18th of January. With that car hood and the original hemp rope was still attached to it, they shot, killed him, put him on there, and froze him. After 3 days, they took him and slid him across the snow and ice, took him to a calf shed, made a burial, and put him in there. We found him the next April. It was an extremely difficult case. It ended up going down into Missouri. We had some help from a sheriff's department down there, some good old boys down in Missouri did a great job when they tried to cash a check from the farm sale that was both in Myra and Howard's signature. They placed plainclothes officers in the banks. They walked in. Myra wanted to open the check account. This guy was so good, that deputy took her, had her picking up checks. "What color would you like?" "Oh, we got these nice little colors here," and so on. She goes, "Well, the check was for $8,000. She says, "Well, I'd like to get $1,000 and put the rest of it in an account." He looks at the check and goes, "Man," he says, "the check is made out to you in Howard." She goes, "Yes." He goes, "Well, is Howard with you?" "Oh, yes. He's out in the pickup." She goes outside. Here comes Dennis Fisher. Forges Howard Miller's name. They actually handed him money. He made it about 3 foot out the door before everybody showed up and arrested him, and the rest of it was up to us to prove it. He was found guilty and put away for the rest of his life. Myra got 9 years. The last time I heard about her, she was over around Duncan someplace. I don't know if she was alive, but she was only 19 years old at the time. So it's very possible that she might be. We're hoping to get this all put together. The end of it all, because I said I would do all this, and I got copies. Papa said some of us were slower and others were, I wasn't stupid. So I got the copies. Hopefully within the next year, The Man That Was Murdered in Masonville will be published. We've got somebody interested in publishing the book, and I'm in the midst of writing something about the Delaware County history of the murder in Masonville. Appreciate you all coming tonight. You have been absolutely tremendous, and I enjoyed this. I'm getting 5, 6, 7 of these I've been to, and they're all getting better and better and better. So thank you very much. Have a great evening. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, Paul. That was very interesting. And I'm sure if anyone would like any more information about this, Paul would be more than happy to talk to you after the show. But right now, I think it's time for another part of our summer-themed program.
You betcha. This time it's baseball. The summertime game. Who doesn't like baseball?
My cousin Melvin.
What?
My cousin Melvin. He hates baseball.
Hates baseball? Since when? It's America's favorite pastime. It's the national game.
Well, since he got hit inside of the head with a fly ball, knocked him out for a week.
Your cousin was in a coma for a week?
No. Knocked him out of the game for a week. He came to an hour later. And after that, he decided he really didn't want to go back. So he didn't.
Oh.
I was just answering your question.
What question? I forgot.
You asked, who doesn't like baseball? And I told you, my cousin Melvin.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, answer this. What do you say we get on with the show?
Okay.
You know what's next?
I sure do. It's one of my favorite comedy shows. First heard right here on station KLNX.
That's right. So settle back, folks, and get ready to laugh. Because it's time for America's favorite crazies, George and Effie, the Frumples.
Tonight's story, Mikey Gets Lost, is based on characters created by Del Snook. In this episode...
Wait a minute. Don't tell them the plot.
I just wanted to mention the subtitle, The Haunted House.
How did you know that?
I read the script. It's right here, see?
You know, you really are getting with it. So here we go. Oh, wait just a minute.
What?
We've got one more commercial.
Another one? How many commercials do we need?
We need enough commercials to pay your salary this week.
Okay, so let's have that commercial. What are we hawking this time?
We are not hawking anything. We are acquainting the good people here with Spam.
Well then, take it away.
That's right, folks. Spam. Everybody loves Spam. That canned meat product with 1,000 uses. Spam. America's favorite since 1937. So flavorful. So versatile. So easy to use that even the newest bride can create a gourmet meal with it. And is it ever great on picnics? In fact, let's listen to how a newly married couple, Sally and John, enjoy the great out of doors with Spam.
Gosh, Sally, this is our first picnic since we got married.
Yes. Oh, John, this is the perfect spot. I hope you're hungry.
Boy, am I ever. Come over here, honey.
John, not now. Not in public, silly.
Oh, all right.
Now, let's spread out the tablecloth and
Boy,
set...
I can't wait. I'm starved. Wow, everything looks so good. What have we got here?
Well, there's potato salad and homemade pickles and apple pie and...
What's in this casserole dish? It looks just like something...
It's a wonderful recipe I found in a magazine. It's honey baked beans with...
That's Spam in with the beans?
Yes, the magazine says that men go wild for Spam.
What? Not me. I hate Spam. I can't stand Spam.
But John, the magazine
I
said...
don't care what the stupid magazine says. I hate it. I had Spam in the Army every day meal for 2 blasted years. Spam and eggs, Spam burger, Spam and potato, Spam and macaroni, Spam and whatever else they could throw in it. Oh.
But John, I thought you'd like it. I was just trying.
I don't ever want to see Spam again as long as I live.
Gosh, that's too bad, John.
Huh? Who the heck are you?
I'm the voice of experience, John, and I think you need to make it up before Sally right away, or you're going to be in real deep hot water for a very long time.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Sally, honey. Sally, I'm sorry. This really looks pretty good after all.
I was just trying to please you, John.
Oh, I know that, honey, and it'll taste real good, I bet.
Well, the magazine said it was tasty and very filling.
And made with only the finest ingredients to ensure quality and flavor.
And it goes with so many dishes. And it's economical. Very important for newlyweds on a limited budget.
And don't forget, it's also good for you.
Why don't you try just a bite, dear?
Why do I get this impression is just something? Why do I get the impression that this is a conspiracy?
Of course it's a conspiracy, John. What's the matter with you? See, folks, the power of good foods like Spam. So, ladies, run out and pick up that delicious spiced ham in a can. Just open it up and use your imagination. Spam. And don't forget, it's also good for babies' meals, too.
Babies?
Oh, John, I have something to tell you.
Aww.
Huh?
It's Saturday night.
And we find George and Effie in their living room. It's getting late. It's been a long day.
And George is nodding off.
George, are you awake? George, what are you doing? George, it's 10 o'clock. Don't you think it's time to go to bed?
Well, not yet, Hef. I ain't through reading the box scores.
I thought you read the box scores this morning.
Yeah, well, I'm reading a little slower these days.
Oh, George, come on. Time for bed. What? Good gracious. Who can that be at this time of night?
Better not be Mikey with one of those silly games.
I'll go see him. I'm coming, for heaven's sakes. Tiffany?
George, Effie, George, Effie.
Tiffany, what's the matter?
George, Effie.
Tiffany, will you calm down and tell us what's the matter?
Oh, it's awful. It's just terrible.
Well, I figured that out, Tiffany. Now, what's the matter?
It's Mikey.
Mikey? What's wrong with Mikey?
His parents can't find him.
Well, what's so awful about that? I'd say that's cause for celebration.
George, he's been gone for hours. He went outside after supper to play ball and just disappeared.
Disappeared where?
Well, George, if we knew where, he wouldn't be missing, would he?
Oh, for crying out loud. Did anyone call the sheriff?
Good idea, George. Tiffany, call Nerdquist.
That's just what I'm doing. Hello, Myrtle. Give me the sheriff's office.
Well, leave it to Mikey to get lost in his own backyard.
Oh, George, he's just a little boy.
Hello, Nerdquist?
This is Sheriff Lindquist's office.
Sheriff, this is Tiffany, and we've got a problem.
Another problem? What is it this time?
Nerdquist.
All right. Are you making a complaint?
Well, I guess so.
Then we have to make it all official. State your name.
Nerdquist, don't be an idiot. You know my name. Get with it. Mikey's lost.
Mikey's lost what?
Oh, for the love of Pete, you're dense.
Let me have that phone tip. Nerdless, get your tail in gear. Mikey's parents said he's lost. Now, are you going to do something, or do we have to form a posse to do your work for you?
Now, you just calm down, Mr. Frumple. I'll call Mikey's folks and get the details.
Nerdless, the details are he's lost. What other details do you need?
Now, Mr. Frumple, you know I have to do everything by the book. In the meantime, you can relax, knowing that Nerdquist is on the case. 10-4 and out.
I don't believe it.
Did he say 10-4 and out again? That lunkhead. I suppose he also said he was on the case.
He did, which means we better do it ourselves.
Well, shouldn't we wait for the sheriff? What if there's desperate characters out there?
If we wait for Nerdquist, Mikey will be the one that's desperate.
Yeah, we need to do something fast.
Maybe we should arm ourselves. Here's the tennis racket I left here last week.
And I'll get a baseball bat.
And I'll get my rolling pin.
Okay, let's get going.
Right.
Poor Mikey. It's so dark and spooky. I feel sorry for him.
Well, I feel sorry for us. It's dark and spooky, not to mention time for bed.
I just don't know where to start.
Look, Tiff, you go that way, and we'll go this way. That way, we might have a better chance of finding him.
All right, yell if you find him.
Well, if I find him, he'll be the one doing the yelling.
Now, George.
Yeah, I know. He's only a little... Hey, what's that?
It's McDermott, Mike's dog. I think he's trying to tell us something.
I suppose you're going to tell me that dog can lead us to Mike.
Well, maybe he can. Look, he's going that way down the street.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
George, I think he really does want us to follow him.
Oh, sure. Why not? Wait up, dog.
There he goes, George. Come on.
Boy, it sure looks like that stupid dog. I beg your pardon. I meant to say, it certainly appears this huge dog knows where he's going.
George, there's a light.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's inside that house with a flashlight.
Why, that's the old Applegate mansion. It's been deserted for years. Some people say the ghost of old Mr. Applegate still haunts it.
Yeah, well, right now, it's haunted by someone with a flashlight.
Do you suppose it's burglars? Oh, what if it's Mikey and he can't find his way out?
Oh, for Pete's sakes, come on, let's go see. Will you shut up?
George, you hurt his feelings.
Oh, sorry, dog. Okay, let's see if that door's locked.
George, this is breaking and entering.
You want to find Mikey or not? Anyway, if the door's unlocked, it's not breaking, just entering. Okay, let's see. I'll turn it this way. Look, hopefully. Yep, that door's not locked.
George, I'm scared. What if the ghost of Applegate is real?
Oh, hogwash, Effie. Hold on to the dog. It'll keep you safe. And keep them quiet. Okay, here we go.
George, I don't see anything. Maybe the dog made a mistake.
Well, apparently the dog thinks he didn't make a mistake.
What was that?
Well, either it's the ghost of old man Applegate or the wind blew the door shut.
George, listen.
Sounds like
Footsteps.
Then it's not a ghost. Ghosts don't have footsteps.
How do you know that?
Did you ever see a sheep wearing shoes?
It's coming closer.
Keep quiet and maybe it won't see us. Oh no! Oh,
George? Effie?
Tiffany?
Oh, for the love of Tiffany, will you get that flashlight out of my eyes? What are you doing here? I thought you went the other way.
I did, but I saw a light on in the upstairs window and thought it might be Mikey trying to find his way out.
No, that doesn't seem logical. If it is Mikey, why wouldn't he just go down the same stairs he came up?
Well, maybe he heard us down here, thought it was a ghost, got scared, and went up. Listen.
What in the world?
Well, that's not Mikey.
Oh my gosh, it's old man Applegate. The place really is haunted.
That's no ghost. Get him!
Oh,
Get him!
come on,
Get him!
get him. Come on, get him. Go, go, go.
Ow,
Get him,
ow,
get him.
where?
Yeah, come on, get him now.
Ow! I surrender!
Sam!
Sam?
Sam, you rat. What do you think you're doing moaning like that?
I thought it sounded pretty good.
Are you trying to scare us to death? It's spooky enough as it is in here.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I was just kidding. I won't do it again.
You better not if you know what's good for you.
Well, I hate to interrupt, but Sam, what are you doing here?
Sheriff Nerdquist said he saw a bunch of people going into the old Applegate mansion. And since I'm a volunteer deputy, I thought I'd better investigate. Then I heard all of you talking and decided to play a little joke.
Very funny, Sam.
Yeah, ha ha.
All right. Let's get serious here. Has anyone seen Mikey?
Not yet, no.
Well, somebody's upstairs. And since we're all downstairs, it's not us.
Then it's either Mikey or it's someone else.
Very astute, George.
Well, yeah. Now, Tiff and Effie, you stay here. Me and Sam will go investigate.
George, if you think we're staying down here while you and Sam disappear upstairs, think again.
I second that.
Okay, fine. You go with us. And McDermott can do whatever he wants to. All right, gang. Are we ready?
Yep, let's
Yeah,
go.
let's go.
But quietly. Oh, for Pete's sake. Upstairs we go. Well, we made it upstairs without anything awful happening. So now I guess we better.
What's that?
What in the world?
Well, it sounds like somebody's batting a baseball down the hallway.
Maybe old man Applegate's practicing for the big game.
Hush, Sam.
Now, where's that nut off to?
You think McDermott found Mikey?
Either that or he smelled a whole lot of old bones.
Very funny, Sam. Wait a minute. Look!
Hey, let me go, McDermott. Ouch! Stop pulling me.
Mikey?
Hey, hi, everybody. What are you doing here?
We're looking for you. That's what we're doing here.
Mikey, your parents are worried sick.
Did you get lost?
Lost? Gosh, no. I had to come up here.
You had to come up here? What the heck for?
Well, I was outside practicing my batting. I hit the ball through one of the windows here.
You did what?
Oh, don't worry. It was already broken out, so I had to come up here.
So you had to come up here to retrieve your ball.
But why in the world did you stay here for?
Well, gosh, it's a great place for baseball practice. Nobody around to tell me to stop. I stand at one end of that long hallway and try to bat the ball to the other end. And since the windows are already broken out, it doesn't make any difference if I hit one by accident.
Oh, for the love of Pete, Mikey. Do you know it's after dark already? We've been looking for you for over an hour.
Golly, I didn't know it was that late. It's kind of dark up here, so I just figured it was still early.
Oh, George, you know kids. They start playing and they lose all track of time.
So you just happened to bring a flashlight along with you?
We saw a flashlight through the window, Mikey. That's what brought us here.
Oh, well, sure. I always carry my Boy Scout flashlight.
Oh yeah, and so do I.
Gosh, did they have Boy Scouts way back when you were a kid, Mr.
George, be nice.
All right. So, Mikey, why did you start using your flashlight?
Why, to see where the ball went after I hit it.
Okay, come on, kid. We better get you home.
And you'd better have a good explanation when you get there.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Well, promise you won't do it again.
But jeepers, I was just...
What the heck was that?
It's old Applegate's ghost.
Downstairs. Come on. Get downstairs. Careful. Out the front door, quick.
Oh, my gosh.
You suppose that was really Applegate's ghost?
I'm not sure. You know, that laugh sounded awfully familiar.
You're right. It sounded just like...
Hey! Hi there, Sheriff Nerdquist.
Well, how do you do, everybody? What brings you out to the mansion? Is this here the posse?
Yeah, we're doing your job, Nerdquist.
Now, I told you to leave it all to me and I'd find him. Well, here he is.
Yes, after we found him, you mean.
Well, shucks. I knew he wouldn't be too far away. And since you folks seem determined to have a late-night expedition, I thought I'd let you do the legwork for a change.
You mean you've been around here all the time?
Well, yeah, sorta.
Well, you sorta pulled the old spooky laughing routine on us, didn't you?
Well, that long hallway's pretty good for the echo effect, you gotta admit.
That was you?
Nerdquist, this is absolutely the last straw.
Tiff, you put that tennis racket down right now. Oh, come on. Oh, it was just a joke.
Well, laugh that off, you big lout.
Hey, quit. Stop in the name of the law. Tiff.
I didn't know
Tiff.
Tiffany could run that fast.
Wow, look at him go.
Looks like Tiffany's gonna need a new tennis racket. I don't know what Nerdquist is gonna need.
What's that?
Don't look at me.
It's not Tiffany.
And it's not Nerdquist. He's halfway to town by now. Then it's the ghost.
That was the Frumples, written by Jerry Eisenhower and featuring characters created by Del Snook for the final act ensemble of the Des Moines Community Playhouse. This evening's entertainment has been brought to you by the Lenox College Radio Theater Players. This is KLNX Radio signing off for the evening. Good night all.